All right. So let's move on to the next story, which also comes from the Register. The title is "Go ahead and ignore Patch Tuesday. It might improve your security." So there's another quote in here that I think further illustrates it. Lawson is the person. That's the name of the person from Gartner. Thinks organizations try to implement all patches anyway, sometimes to meet internal metrics for speedy patching or to ensure they meet regulatory compliance requirements. But such practices haven't led to a decrease in successful attacks. But so there's this, and that last sentence I think is particularly important to talk a little bit about, because I don't know that we should be thinking about patching as the sole reason for not having a decrease in successful attacks.
Yeah. How do
Like,
you prove the negative?
right, there's so many
Yeah.
confounding factors. There's more threat actors. There's the ecosystem of malware has changed radically. We have many more security researchers than we have in the past, and almost more every day, and they're all writing proof of concept code that gets published. And so there's a lot of confounding factors that I would say are kind of orthogonal to the whole notion that this is evidence that the failure of successful attacks going down is evidence that patching just doesn't work. I think it's, anyway, you get the point.
No, I agree with you, and I have so many thoughts that I'm trying to organize them coherently. And you would think after 568,000 shows, I might be able to do that better than I can. But no. The problem that I have with that statement is, one, it feels very marketing heavy. It feels like somebody pitching a solution, not real world dealing with, they talk about this in boardrooms. Well, to be fair to boardrooms, these are executives who are divorced from the process, who are very distant from it, who are asking tough questions and may not have, just because they're asking questions doesn't mean it's a good question. Let's just say that. So the challenge that I have with this is you can't prove how many attacks we avoided by patching on a regular basis. You can't prove, unless you did a true side-by-side A/B comparison with a sample population of companies in a similar environment, and said, hey, you guys don't patch for the next 365 days, and let's compare. Versus somebody who does have a patch management program. This is somewhat like, hey, we had a lot of problem with people breaking through the windows. Great, we put bars on the windows. Okay, now they're coming in through the front door. You haven't done anything. No, that's not true. I stopped one avenue of attack.